Welcome into the best in paranormal talk radio. This is Darkness Radio. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It just means there's supernatural news, Bruiser. That's what that means.
That's what that means, huh?
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, and I get to join you, and we get to share some paranormal news.
That's right. We get to talk about some headlines, get to go through some serious headlines, some funny headlines, and maybe some headlines that don't hit you either way.
Well, you know, I'm excited. We had a really good conversation off air, and I'm pumped, man. You're a good hype man. You're a hype man. Yeah, you are.
Oh, well, good. That's good. Maybe I have a future in what do they call it? Well, evidently I won't be remembering things for people. Yeah,
I was just about to say I should have you make me a recording slip before my matches. I can listen to it, but it'd just be you constantly going,
inspirational speaking. That's what it is.
There it is.
Yeah, if I could remember my notes, that would be the thing. My only problem is that I don't think I've had as many concussions as you have, but I've had my bell rung quite a few times in my day. So,
the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever had to. You played football back in the day.
Oh, I did.
I did. Have you ever cracked your helmet?
Yes, I have actually.
Yeah.
And I also, you know, the face mask is supposed to protect your face.
Yeah.
I had a play once where a guy's cleat came underneath the face mask and stepped on my face.
No
Same
good.
game, my helmet cracked.
Really?
Yeah.
No good.
No.
Yeah. They didn't make it the equipment like they do now.
No, they don't. They don't.
No, technology is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really it's funny when my helmet cracked. Have you ever remember that scene from Police Academy where the motorcycle cop's putting that stuff on his helmet to make it, you know, repair the crack, and then they put it in the guy's shampoo and all that?
Yeah.
I got to watch our equipment manager do that to my helmet. And all I kept thinking about was like, I hope to God, I'm taking a shower later, and that better not end up in my shampoo bottle.
That's kind of advanced thinking for a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a junior in high school, so.
Huh. Yeah, I cracked it pretty good. But it was one of those, you got to keep in mind, this is late 70s, early 80s, and they basically made helmets out of spit and baling wire. Yeah. So, yeah, it didn't take too much to crack this thing.
You could go to Kmart and buy a helmet.
You could. And I think that was the solution, when I split this thing down the middle. They just went.
I'm pretty sure if you go to a football game nowadays, they used our helmets from back then to serve nachos in now.
Yes, they do. Yeah, it's a decorative bowl for your chips. Yeah, there wasn't much to them. Yeah, but those were the good old days, when you would hit head to head, they would just tell you to shake it off and get back in there.
Yep. And then if you had a concussion, you just don't sleep for an hour and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, I stayed up all night that night. I remember screaming and howling, and I remember my dad telling my mom it was just the wind. Stuff like that. It was really good old days.
It's funny. My first concussion compared to my last concussion. My first concussion was to stay up all night, so we need to pay attention to him, stay with him. And then my last concussion, my doctor was like, you need to sleep as much as possible. And I looked at her and said, well, this last time you told me. And she goes, nope, science has changed. Sleep as much as possible. I'm like, okay.
I think I'm so old, they never let me sleep through a concussion.
No?
Yeah.
Well, you got to get one nowadays, Tim. It's all the rave. You get a good sleep.
The last major one I had, it was kind of embarrassing. The last major one I had was in 2000. It was right before I was going out to New York, and we drove all the way to New York. Our family did.
Okay.
I got it at a bowling alley. Yeah, I know, right?
There's a story there. I know there is.
There is. There was oil on the approach, and I went to throw the ball, and it was very cartoon-like. My feet slipped from underneath me, and wham! Hit the back of my head on the approach there, on the oily approach, if you know what I mean. And the minute I hit the back of my head, you know how you get the tunnel vision, everything just shrinks down to nothing. Oh yeah. It's like an old Looney Tunes cartoon at the end where instead of the tunnel opening up and you see Porky Pig and going, that's all, folks. You just get, instead it just shrinks down to nothing.
Then everyone talking to you sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Yeah.
Yep.
You hear a lot of that too.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard that. And then
that's not a good concussion.
No.
That's a bad one.
And then my girlfriend at the time, all I heard was, and I was embarrassed because this was one of our first dates, and I was like, oh, geez, just let me die now.
You made an impression, though.
I did make an impression, yes. She dated me for quite a while.
So somewhere on one of those radio shows when they're going to be talking about horrible first dates, if I ever hear someone reporting in they went to a date with their boyfriend to a bowling alley and he ended up getting a concussion, that was you.
That was me. Yeah. He was such an idiot. He went to throw the ball and pulled a Charlie Brown, ended up flat on his back. He even looked like Charlie Brown.
Hit the pins with the ball?
I don't remember where the ball went. It might have went 3 lanes over. I don't know. I don't know what happened to the ball. I assume that I let go of the ball.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She didn't hit you in the head. I just picture it going up and you doing the fall and then real cartoon thing where everyone thinks you're okay and then the ball comes down on your head.
Or better yet, right in the old groin.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah.
There it is. That makes you double concussion.
Oh, it reminds me of a spot from this last weekend's WrestleMania.
Oh, that was Johnny Knoxville. It was amazing.
Yeah. He was good.
Yeah, that was a fun match.
Yeah, a fun match. I don't think people want to hear about it, though.
No, they don't.
Let's just get to headline, shall we?
Well, I do want to say thank you to whoever on Twitter tagged us in that photo of the needlepoint. Remember, you saw that?
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I was excited.
Yeah, you were excited for that, huh?
Yeah, they have a great pool there.
They do. They have an excellent pool at that needlepoint. That's like the, what do you call it? Like the performance center.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the performance center of underwater needlepoint. People don't know what I'm talking about. WWE has a performance center, and underwater needlepoint also has a performance center. So that
someone took a picture and tagged us on Twitter. And it was awesome.
They did. I'm just looking it up right now. I need to reminisce live on air as we're talking. It was Brian Myers who tagged both of us in a tweet. And by the way, my Twitter handle is @drtimdennis, not because I'm a doctor, but because it stands for Darkness Radio. And Bruiser, you're at BCB Winchester.
That's me.
So Brian said, I saw this on the way to work this morning. Might have to stop in and see what it's all about. And you see this. What looks like an older, would that be a Victorian home? I think that's a Victorian home.
I think so, yeah. I'm looking at it now, too.
And a sign that's out front that says, Two's Company Needlepoint.
Which is an amazing needlepoint center.
Yeah, amazing needlepoint center. And if you look carefully in the backyard, you can see a swimming pool.
Yep, that's where they do all the training.
That's where they do all the training for underwater needlepoint, just saying. So, so go ahead and follow us both on Twitter. We would appreciate it. We might even follow you back. That's what I do. I try to follow back as many people as I can. If you follow me there on the old twatter machine, as we used to call it back in the day in the Stone Age when it first started.
When you actually had what, 70 some characters instead of the 280 now.
Is it 280?
I thought it was. Maybe it's 140. I don't know.
I think it's still 140. You're supposed to be able to super twat, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to access that.
I don't know either. Without my daughters around and my son, I don't know anything about technology.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's why you're in charge of this podcast, not me.
Boy, we're hanging on by the skin of our teeth there, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Huh. Yeah, so there's that. Oh, before we get to stories, I want to remind everybody, the UFO Disclosure Symposium. By the way, you guys are checking it out. I see your clicks. I know that sounds horrible. It sounds dirty, doesn't it? I see your clicks. You're showing me your clicks. There's a link in the description of this show to take you to the webpage for the UFO Disclosure Symposium. Darkness Radio is partnering up with the UFO Disclosure Symposium, and we want you to check it out. It's in Vernal, Utah, May 27th through the 29th this year. Lots of great guests. Professor Avi Loeb, which I believe we're hearing from him in today's newscast. Travis Young, from the Skywalker Ranch TV show, and many others. We'll be talking about 4 UAP videos never seen before by the U.S. government that will be featured in this disclosure symposium. Now, there's 3 different tickets that you can get for this symposium. One is a VIP ticket to actually go to Vernal, Utah, and you get everything from a dinner with the speakers at this symposium to different perks and VIP features. Then you've got the general admission ticket. And then the one where if you don't want to fly, if you don't want to deal with the airlines, if you don't want to have to get a hotel room, you can see it right from the luxury of your own home. And that's the 3-day streaming package. You can watch it right there from home. And it's 3 days, and you can access it globally.
Oh, nice.
Bruiser. So you could be anywhere. I mean, we broadcast this show all around the world. I see the statistics every day. We reach just about every country on the planet, Bruiser, and you can access the Disclosure Symposium from anywhere.
The 4 videos is what's exciting me. Like that, you know, that sounds amazing. 4 new videos. That's the new thing. Is new videos. It's not the old Tic Tac and all that. It's new.
Never seen before. Yep.
And then you get to hear the guys that their job is to study stuff like this, discuss it. Like that's just awesome.
There may even be some talk of some things that are going on right now within the government that you've never heard before.
I like it.
So this UFO Disclosure Symposium is going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be one of those things that may make the news. There may be some news breaking material in this UFO Disclosure Symposium. It's one of those things that you don't want to miss. You know, I hear it all the time. We get emails that say, you know, gosh, you know, we need disclosure. We need this. We need things that are actually breaking news, you know, things that actually, you know, when are we going to get some meat on the bone? This is it.
This is it. Everything that you just described. Yep. This is it.
If you've ever wanted to sit in on a top secret UFO type meeting, this is as close as you're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, these are experts.
Well, some of these experts, they actually worked with the government too.
They do. Yeah. Some of these experts that are going to be there, they have top secret clearance.
Exactly.
And have been working on some of the stuff that we're talking about. They've seen these videos firsthand, and they're at the conference to talk about what it is they've seen and what's going on right now with the potential for disclosure. So you can be right there, cutting edge, know what's going on to the minute with disclosure.
Be part of history. I love that saying. That's part of history.
That's exactly right, Bruiser. So the link is in the description of this program. The UFO Disclosure Symposium going on May 27th through the 29th in Vernal, Utah. Just click on that link. I see you guys looking at it, and I'll tell you, tickets are going fast for this thing, both for the streaming and for the in-person tickets. Go ahead, click on that link, get your tickets. Either way, whether you're watching it from home or whether you're going to Vernal, Utah, you got to do it today, folks, because these tickets are going to go fast. That's just all there is to it. So,
be part of history.
There you go. Speaking of UFO transparency, unfortunately this week we had a heavy in the field that passed away. Famed aviator, 79-year-old John Lear departed on his next adventure this past week. Lear embraced controversy and championed UFO transparency. Nevada aviator John Lear's death Tuesday night has sent ripples through the worlds of aviation and conspiracy theories. Lear was widely known for his claims about UFOs and Area 51, but also for a lifetime of daring exploits in everything that could fly. Most people think I'm absolutely nuts, and that's okay with me, Lear told 8 News Now in a 2007 interview. He didn't mind when people attacked his wild stories. In fact, he reveled in it. He came to be known as the godfather of conspiracies, but anyone who was given the tour of his jam-packed den knew that he was a lot more to Lear. There was a lot more to Lear than tall tales. Those walls were a museum of his life. Pictures with the famous and infamous of planes that he had flown, secret places, and projects that he'd investigated. Regret was not a word that he was known to use. George Knapp was the interviewer in a lot of his interviews, and especially over the years. Yeah, he interviewed him a lot, especially on Coast to Coast AM.
I was going to say, that's where I'm familiar with him, is Coast to Coast.
Mm-hmm. George Knapp asked him the question, would you do it the same way? And John Lear said exactly the same way. Lear was the son of a world-famous man. His father, Bill Lear, created the Lear jet and invented the 8-track tape system.
Well, thank you. I actually am familiar with 8-tracks. I'm that generation when it started to change.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I got used to being able to hit the hip slide on the ka-chunk on an 8-track tape, so I thank you, Bill Lear, for that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That you helped. Not only did you help me learn about music with that, but you also helped me confuse my children because they had never seen an 8-track, and my father-in-law, before he passed, had an 8-track player.
Really?
And it blew. We went one day. We did the 8-track, we did the vinyl, we did cassette tape, we did CD, and they were just blown away at the 8-track. Like, what? There's only 8 songs ago, hence the name 8-track. You just click this button and it goes. And,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Blew them away.
What's funny is in radio you have a thing called a cart, which looks exactly like an 8-track.
Okay.
So if you were from the cart or from the 8-track generation, you were used to carts. You knew that it just went in the slot, but instead of it going from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and having to hit the buttons, a cart was on a loop, was on a tape loop. So it had a stop and a start. But when you were recording a cart, you had to put in the stop tone. Otherwise, it was just one big loop.
It just kept going.
Yeah, it just kept going. So yeah, it was an interesting technology, and it was around for a long time until digital technology.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was around until digital. So
yeah, that's for sure.
Thank you, Mr. Lear, for revolutionizing how we listen to music.
That's right. Determined to carve out his own path, Lear dove into aviation, becoming an accomplished pilot at a young age, even setting multiple world records in all manners of planes. His daredevil life came with a cost, however, serious injuries caused by plane crashes he shouldn't have survived. During the Vietnam era, he flew cargo planes for the CIA and continued to court danger by flying in and out of other hotspots. His contacts in the aerospace world were extensive, and Lear became interested in secret planes and projects. In the 1980s, he and a few friends started staking out obscure bases in the Nevada desert, places that later became world famous. Lear helped KLAS-TV break the story about the existence of a secret plane that was invisible to radar. In the mid-1980s, he started hearing stories about a UFO cover-up and, not surprisingly, jumped in with both feet, making various media appearances to discuss his ideas. There's always something going on there, some secret project going on there, Lear went on to say. In March of 1989, he accompanied a small group to the outskirts of Area 51. 3 Wednesday nights in a row, they watched a glowing disk rise above the mountains over Papoose Lake, which is a dry lake bed. On March 29th of 1989, Lear and friends recorded video of the object, which was a glowing disk that rose from a facility that officially didn't exist. Ironically, March 29th was the same date that Lear died at his Las Vegas home, though many years later. The person who initiated the desert outing was a scientist who claimed that he worked at Papoose on flying saucers. The scientist was interviewed live on television in May of 1989 from Lear's driveway, a tale that spread around the world. Later that year, the identity of Lear's friend was made public. Bob Lazar's claims put Area 51 on the map, inspired movies, TV shows, and entire industries, along with what came to be known as Nevada's extraterrestrial highway. In his later years, Lear's health had declined. He could no longer fly, but continued to share stories about increasingly outrageous conspiracies, enjoying the outrage that they generated. The crazy stories don't obscure what was an amazing life, however. In the end, Lear figured he'd be vindicated. All I can tell you is when you find out the truth a month or years from now, you'll look back and say, my gosh, the son of a gun was right. Lear instructed his daughter to issue this message after his death. Tell them John Lear has embarked on his next adventure.
I'm surprised it wasn't a nana nana boo boo. I was right.
Yeah, exactly. Look up in the sky. That's me right there in the saucer.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and wave.
And of course he'd be friends with Lazar. Like he just two polarizing UFO, personalities. Of course they're gonna be friends.
Of course. We go from one story of a great man with a bit of strangeness to a strange story of, I guess, an all right man who is getting texted by a ghost.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not getting ghosted. He's getting
texted by a
ghost, right?
Yeah.
I got that right?
Yeah. Ghosts can use all kinds of technology these days. It seems like ghosts are better at adapting at technology than we are at adapting at technology.
Which, it blows my mind, because you could be talking to a 16th century ghost, yet they're texting you. They didn't have that back then.
And they're better at it. They're quicker with the thumbs. They don't even have thumbs, but they can just...
Like, was it last week we were talking about the ghost that was on the computer and
in
writing
the 80s.
Poetry and stuff? It's like, how do these guys know this?
He hit that Commodore 64 with a passion. He was just like,
yeah,
I don't know. A 40-year-old man from Teesside has been carrying out his own research after his girlfriend received cryptic texts following a spooky trip to York, a city known for its ghostly happenings. It turns out... Sometimes, you go, yeah, I buy it. And other times you go,
Pretty sure she's just having an affair. And
you think so?
Yeah. And she's hiding it from... That's just the vibe I'm getting.
She's like, honey, it's a ghost. I swear I don't know any other man but you.
Yeah.
A guy believes a ghost he photographed in a hotel has texted his girlfriend from his phone after they visited York.
So the ghost used his phone to text her. I think he was just drunk texting her, and to get out of trouble said, no, it wasn't me. It was a ghost.
No,
you saw the picture.
Yeah. The man from Stockton who wishes to remain anonymous, of course he does. The shame alone would kill him. Believes he was the victim of paranormal activity after visiting the haunted city on Monday, March 21st. The 40-year-old and his girlfriend had enjoyed a day out and sampled a couple of the city's 365 pubs. I think they hit more than a couple, Bruiser.
That's a good run there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
365 pubs.
Yeah.
That means if you're having a drink in each pub, that's 365 drinks.
Yeah. If you hit them twice, that's...
a lot.
Yeah. Math ain't my strong suit.
And now this guy's trying to put it past us that it was a ghost texting her? No, you were drunk texting. Admit it.
Yep. Then at 2 a.m., while they were both asleep, his girlfriend received a text from his phone, and he believes a ghost was behind that message. He said, when we were in York, I took a photo of the corridor in a pub leading to the toilets because I thought it looked creepy. What? You just randomly take a text of a corridor near a bathroom because it's creepy. Okay, so here's the message. It says, can you call back later? And it says, we are in INV 4N 2Z 4NB.
So it's a drunk text.
The text was allegedly sent by a ghost, it says. Thinking nothing...
I've texted that same message to Brian Malonis numerous times after my night at a pub. It wasn't a ghost. It was the beer.
Thinking nothing of it, I just sent it to my girlfriend so she could see. At 1:48 a.m. the next morning, we both received a text on my phone saying, can you call back later? I hadn't sent this text, obviously, because I was asleep, so we were both really confused as to where it came from. I think it may have been from the haunted pub we visited earlier in the day. The messages didn't stop there, with the man finding a message typed out on his phone 10 hours later, which read, we are INV in 4N 2Z 4MB. What the hell does that mean? I'm getting old when I can't read shorthand on text.
Text. How would a ghost know text language, too?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, you don't hear... Let's just even go back to 19th century ghosts. They were not doing LOL in telegrams.
Right. They whip out the what do you call it? Not the cucumber, but the other one, emoji, and the
eggplant.
The eggplant in the water.
Yeah.
Unsure what the series of numbers and letters meant, he took to the internet to find out more. Oh, we're going to get an explanation.
From an expert.
Yeah, from an expert. The Stockton man added, I Googled these numbers and came up with an equation created by German scientist Armand Huckel. God, really? Okay.
Armand's texted him.
Armand Huckel from the dead. The Huckel formula using 4n plus 2 is a calculation of molecular orbitals on electron systems. Because, putting it in a text is the best way to do it.
Okay, and if that is a ghost texting him, that's a douche ghost thinking that we all know this formula. Like, we're not all good at math, ghost.
By the way, are you up later? I got a Huckel formula for you. It's not as sexy as this ghost pick, but hey.
Buddy, I think the ghost is hitting on you. Why? He sent you the Huckel formula.
Yeah, he says he's got a Huckel for you, and it's mighty enticing.
I think when I get off the air, I'm going to text my wife the Huckel formula just to see what reaction I get.
Oh, yeah. I hear that's it's a little
Everyone listening, get the Huckel formula, text your significant other, and then reach out to Tim and I online and tell us how it went.
That's right. Yeah. Please, let's get your reactions at tim@darknessradio.com. We need your Huckel formula right away. Your Huckel formula reactions from your significant others.
We'll call it Huckel Pickup. How to pick up your spouse by Huckel.
The Huckel pickle.
Huckel. There it is.
Naturally, he says, naturally, I'd ever heard of this. I don't know what that means, and never used this equation in my life. So I'm very unsure how it ended up as an unsent text message on my phone. The Stockton man can't think of anything else other than visiting one of York's haunted pubs that have resulted in a ghost sending cryptic texts and equations on his phone, or maybe something more explainable. He said, well, it's either paranormal activity or someone's managed to hack into my phone number and send texts on my behalf. I don't know how the text got there. Neither of us sent them, and neither of us has had any texts since then. It says the bloke has no other explanation, so the mystery continues. I think, it's just scientific formulas turn him on.
He's got to do some research now. If you honestly think this is a ghost, do some research and see if that Huckel guy ever visited that pub, or if there was a meeting of mathematicians or whatever. That's your first thing. If you can link somehow how mathematicians got to that pub where this formula be an everyday thing, then I'll start maybe leaning towards it being a ghost. But right now, I just think it's a drunk text. It just so happens to be the Huckel formula.
He just happened to bend over onto the keyboard and pass out. And that's how you got the Huckel formula. Just saying. From taking a swing at a guy's girl to trying to take a swing at other dinosaurs with those tiny little arms, it turns out that T-Rexes had short forelimbs for a reason.
So they didn't have to do push-ups?
Oh, well, that's one. Yeah. I mean, those are exhausting as it is, and I don't blame T-Rexes for having short forearms for that. No.
Dinosaurs, you don't have to do push-ups.
Yeah, that's true. They had short forelimbs to stop them from getting bitten by other dinosaurs during feeding frenzies, it says here in this story. I don't know that I buy that any more than other things that have been told to me. This according to a study, Bruiser.
How do they do this study?
I think what they do is they get paid a certain amount of money and they all get around in a little circle.
Yeah.
And they say, all right, this is what we're going to do. We need to come up with a reason why the dinosaurs have the short forelimbs. Ready? This one says so they can't spin on their head while they break dance. That's a good one. It's a good one.
This one is because they do not like high-fiving one another.
Oh, yes. They're afraid of the high five.
They do not like the high five.
They don't jump very well, and they don't high five very well because their
T-Rex can't jump.
Their balance is very bad. This one, afraid to pick the apples off the trees. That's a good one. It's a good one.
What about, Tim, what about the feeding frenzy? How do they protect?
Let's hold on to that one. I'm thinking, yes. Afraid to wash the groin. Yes, that's a good one as well. I like the feeding frenzy one. Very good. I mean, they may pay on that one. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The wiping of the bottom. That is a good one, too.
Afraid to wipe the butt with the large claws.
Oh, that would hurt.
Yeah. So then they come back and they say, we've got it. Afraid to wipe the bottom with the large claws. And they go, try harder.
So they come up with this one.
All right. It was the feeding frenzy thing all along.
We're going with Hans's feeding frenzy.
Oh, that's good. T-Rex is probably the most famous dinosaur of them all, but for years a key question has remained about its anatomy. Why were its arms so short? This sounds like the beginning of a joke.
It does. Why was the T-Rex's arm so short? Why?
I don't know.
There's a big head and little arms. That is a common joke.
All I can see is Chris Farley doing the big, fat guy in a little coat deal. Now when I think of the show. That's why
you never see T-Rex in a tuxedo.
That's right. That's right. You never see T-Rex in a tuxedo.
In a little coat.
That's right. Now an American paleontologist has claimed that the fearsome creature evolved stumpy arms to keep them out of the way during feeding frenzies. Oh, out of my way, out of my way, out of my way. I just see the little out of my way, out of my way, out of my way, out of my way.
So next time we go to a buffet, just make your arms short. You'll be okay.
That's right. Pull them into your sides. Pull your hands into your chest and do the out of my way, out of my way, out of my way, out of my way, out of my way.
Out of my way. No, out of my way.
Having short arms may have lowered the risk of being bitten by other hungry T-Rex adults while they were devouring a carcass.
So how do you explain lions having normal arms, jackals, hyenas?
Yeah, they were the less shy out of all those groups, I guess.
Excuse me, I would really like to. Oh my god, you're so ferocious.
The tiny arms on the otherwise mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex have represented one of the biggest and most enduring mysteries in paleontology. A 45-foot-long T-Rex, for example, might have had a 5-foot-long skull, but arms are only 3 feet long, the equivalent of a 6-foot human with 5-inch arms.
That just when you think of a T-Rex, it's not as funny, but then you just picture a guy named Bill running around going, "Look at my little arms! Look at my little arms!"
Okay.
Maybe they were the offensive linemen of the football team.
No, because they couldn't high five. So how do you know they were doing a good job? They couldn't good game each other.
That's true.
Can't reach the bottom.
The whole Willie and the hand jive thing had to be odd with T-Rexes. Boy, that's a dated reference. Yikes.
They definitely couldn't do the time warp.
No, they couldn't. No.
There's another dated reference.
Yep.
Because they couldn't put their hands on their hips.
They couldn't do the bird.
I'm trying.
Yeah, in the bird, couldn't do the bird. No.
Nope. Couldn't do the chicken dance.
Couldn't do the chicken dance. Oh, poor T-Rexes.
They couldn't do the Pee Wee Herman tequila.
That's right. Oh yeah, they couldn't do tequila. Oh
man, I just feel so bad for these T-Rexes now.
Oh,
they could never go to a wedding. Is what it is. That's what we're basically saying. They could never go to a wedding reception.
They couldn't do the reception. Are you going to the...
Congratulations, I'm on my way now.
Going to the wedding, Bill?
Yeah, going to the wedding.
Going to the reception?
Fuck you.
Just one of those things, you know.
And if you don't think Tim and I are telling the truth, think fans, How many T-Rexes have you seen at a wedding reception?
None. They never show. You know why?
Never.
I always thought it was because they never wanted to chip in on a gift.
No,
you know?
that's what I thought too.
I thought they were cheap.
They couldn't do the electric slide. They couldn't do the Macarena.
It's electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie.
No, it's the tiny, tiny arms.
I now feel for them.
Oh, and then when it came time to slow dance, oh, how
They
awkward.
couldn't even do the 8th grade dance with the hands on the shoulders because their heads would hit.
Yep. And they couldn't, they couldn't measure out the amount of space for the Holy Spirit between the two of them because the arms are so small.
Yeah.
Jeez. I feel so sorry for him now.
I do too. I'm sorry, T-Rex, for thinking you were mean for never showing up to wedding receptions or middle school dances.
Oh,
but I get it now.
So sad.
That's why they were angry all the time. They never got asked to prom.
Well,
that's why they were angry.
I thought of the obvious one.
What?
Self-relief. I mean,
Yeah.
It's so far away.
I need to release, and I don't know how.
Rubbing up against a wall would really hurt. T-Rex and
their head would get in the way.
That's
5
true.
Feet,
Yeah.
The arms are 3 feet, so you have 2 feet gap there. You can't do anything.
Yeah, that's true. Gosh, what a hard life.
It is. No wonder they were angry all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. So if one time travel becomes known for all of us, I'm just going to get a bunch of those grabbers you get from the zoo, the long ones, and I'm just going to hand them out to every T-Rex I see. And that'll make them happier because now they can reach stuff.
Yeah, but what if they reach for the old bing, bing, bing and with a grabber? And
I'll put rubber on the teeth so it doesn't hurt. I don't know. We'll figure it out for them.
I was going to say you could rip it right off with it. That could be horrible.
I'll figure it out. I'll help them. I'll be there. Who is famous? Dr. Spock? No, that's the baby doctor. Who's the woman? The woman I'm thinking of. She does all the sex talks.
Oh, Dr. Ruth?
Yes, I'll be the T-Rex's Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Today we discuss the T-Rex sexual habits.
We want to talk about the T-Rex and how do you say procreate?
T-Rex and other tyrannosaurids first appeared in the late Jurassic and reached their peak in the late Cretaceous, mainly because, hands, before becoming extinct about 65.5 million years ago. The new study was led by paleontologist Kevin Padiana, a professor at the University of California, Berkeley, and a curator at the UC Museum of Paleontology. Professor, it's Padawan. We'll call him Professor Padawan.
Yep.
Smoking
so my brain went with Padawan.
Yeah, I would too. Noted that the predecessors of tyrannosaurids had longer arms, so there must have been a reason that they became reduced in both size and joint mobility. Oh, use it or lose it.
Well, yeah, and they were constantly being accused of inappropriately touching people.
Yeah, there was that. There was the big scandal of T-Rex. Yeah. The answer came to him after other paleontologists unearthed evidence that some tyrannosaurids hunted in packs, not singly, as depicted in many paintings and dioramas, some of them made by your favorite third graders, just saying. What if several adult tyrannosaurs converged on a carcass, he said? You have a bunch of massive skulls with incredibly powerful jaws and teeth ripping and chomping down flesh and bone right next to you. What if your friend there thinks you're getting a little too close? They might warn you away by severing your arm, he said. Oh, heavens. Yeah.
I'm going to have to let anybody know that goes out to eat with me. I don't mean to sever your arms, but you're in the splash zone.
You're in the splash zone. You're in the splash zone. So it could be a benefit to reduce the forelimbs, like they did it on purpose, since you're not using them in predation anyway. When teaching a freshman seminar called The Age of Dinosaurs, Professor Padawan, or Padawan as we're calling him, would also be asked by undergraduates why the arms of T-Rex are so ridiculously short, but the answer was always, no one knows. So there you go.
When that was just factored in that they were great ukulele players.
That could be.
It's perfect for them.
Ukulele players. Them and Steve Martin. I don't know.
Where Tiny Tim got his inspiration.
That's right. Tiptoe through the tulips.
See, the B-side to that was, his tiptoe through the tulips to find the T-Rex fossil.
To find a fossil. The science of bad vibes. Can some places really hold on to negative energy?
Yes.
It's called one of my exes. I think she's still steaming down in Texas somewhere. Gosh. I make that joke and then I got to talk about Auschwitz.
Oh,
yikes.
Not a good lead in, Tim.
Yeah, let's take a cleansing breath here, kids. Yeah. Visitors to the Auschwitz concentration camp in Poland report feelings of tightness in their chest, nervousness in their hands, and feelings of depression. It's almost like the place is haunted by tremendous amounts of bad energy. According to some scientists, there's a high chance it's one of the many sites containing negative energy. That means our habitat may not be as neutral as we perceive it to be, explaining the goosebumps and sick-to-your-stomach feeling that you may experience in haunted houses or sites where horrific violence took place. There are 3 predominant theories for this phenomenon. I don't have it up. I would otherwise.
Phenomenal.
There you. Hey, that was good.
Thank you.
Wow, you.
Phenomenal.
Nice. See, you got it there. You did this thing. You did the
phenomenal.
I didn't have it up there. That's what she said. The presence of emotional residue or leftover evidence of past emotions that are still lurking around, geopathic stress emanating from the earth itself is what they're saying, and the power of our mind's own expectations. That's called the emotional residue theory. This is I'm reading a caption from a picture. You can't see it, so it doesn't matter. Emotions have the potential to infect or brighten their physical surroundings even after their source has physically moved to a new location, according to the emotional residue phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
There you go. Now you do it.
Phenomenon.
It's pretty good.
I'm a big Dr. Teeth man.
Yeah. Nice. Though the theory likely originates from early beliefs in the contagious nature of magic, has nevertheless become the focal point of several legitimate studies in the field of psychology. A possible explanation is that the human nervous system is able to pick up on chemical signals the body gives off through sweat and tears. Studies have found, for instance, that men's libido declines in the presence of women's tears, and that these chemosignals persist in the surrounding environment. Some experiments have attempted to describe human responses to them. A Dutch study published in Psychological Science in 2012, for instance, found that chemosignals previously produced by men who felt fear or disgust generated an interesting reaction among women exposed to them. Scientists collected sweat from men while they attended either a fear-inducing or disgust-inducing movie and exposed women to it. The fear sweat sample produced fearful facial expressions while performing a visual task, while women who were exposed to chemosignals from the disgust sweat sample produced disgusted facial expressions during the same task. A second study by the same Dutch team, published in Psychological Science in 2015, found that exposure to body odor from people who reported feelings of happiness also produced feelings of happiness in the participants. Researchers recruited 12 men to provide the sweat samples for the study, who again watched a video clip intended to induce a particular emotional state, whether it be fear, happiness, or neutral feelings. 36 women were exposed to the sweat samples. Facial expression data revealed that the women who were exposed to fear sweat had greater activity in the medial frontalis muscle, which is responsible for elevating your eyebrows, a common feature in expressions of fear. Women who were exposed to happy sweat sported smiles. In its conclusion, the paper mentions a behavioral synchronization between the sweat donor and the sweat smeller. Can't believe they did this experiment.
Yeah. Originally, it was like, oh, that's interesting to hear. But now the lengths that they're going to it, it's like, okay, they're going pretty far with the sweat stuff. Like, where did they collect the sweat from? The forehead? The armpit?
Yeah. In other words, happiness could spread through chemosignals. There's a geopathic stress theory as well. That involves the environment not even needing to be damaged to wreak havoc on humans. In 1929, German baron and medical researcher Gustav Freire von Pohl in the Bavarian town of Wisseburg? Hold on a second here. Of Vilsbiburg, concluding that the certain geological faults or fracture between the two pieces of rock of Earth-radiated energy were linked with cancer. All the people who had died of cancer in Vilsbiburg since record-keeping began had slept in beds along these geopathic stress lines, leading von Pohl to the unfounded claim that cancer was a disease of location and to the genesis of the term geopathic stress. According to geopathy advocates, Earth emits energies that can cause ill health in humans, the very definition of geopathic stress. Tunnels, sewers, geological faults, pipes, mineral deposits, utility lines, and underground water are all supposedly points where a certain energy vibration from the Earth gets distorted. Geopathic stress proponents say you should avoid spending too much time in or around these distortion points, or you will experience fatigue, headaches, insomnia, and overall very negative feelings. Some of the most hardcore advocates say that even machinery can break down when placed in geopathic stress zones. There's also the power of expectations, which it says that still our own associations and expectations could be even more powerful than emotional residue or geopathic stress. If we expect something to feel a certain way, say happy or sad, that can strongly influence our own perceptions, such as the power of expectations. If you have positive or negative associations when it comes to certain landscape features, for instance, this could have an impact on how you feel and function beneath your ability to understand it.
That goes along the lines of put positive out, get positive back.
That's right. Thank you for that. That puts it perfectly.
Yep.
So that's it. Basically, those are the three things that could essentially put those bad vibes, that negative energy, in you in a bad place, because supposedly you can hold on to that bad energy.
Well, it's common knowledge too that hauntings take place where there's high deposits of limestone, or if there's running water nearby, and basically everything he described. When you look back at some of the most famous haunted places, have a combination of all that, and then you add in the negative energy because something bad happened, or the positive energy, again, something good happened.
Right.
Makes sense. I mean, the science is there.
It is. One last one having to do with energy in general. Evidently, there's a new drug out there, Bruiser, and it has to do with sound.
Oh, okay.
It's the newest psychedelic drug is actually binaural beats. They're using them to get high now.
Okay.
I always used them for pain relief, but I didn't know you could get high off of them. It says here in the headline, will the next generation of drugs be coming out of your headphones? A new survey is revealing the growing use of sound as a psychedelic drug. Researchers from RMIT University in Australia say their study looked at the phenomena of binaural beats, which are the sounds that can allegedly trigger a psychoactive effect in the brain. More specifically, binaural beats are an illusionary tone created by the brain when someone hears two different sound frequencies in each ear. The team notes that there's little evidence backing up the claims, and also little research into the effectiveness and safety of listening to these beats. While new reports didn't look into the issues either, it did reveal how people around the world are using the supposedly psychedelic audio clips. Data from the Global Drug Survey of 2021 shows 72% of respondents use binaural beats to help them relax or fall asleep. Another 35% are trying to change their mood. However, 12% say they're using binaural beats to create the same high they get from taking a psychedelic drug.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd just be annoying to me. 2 different sounds in each ear. That'd give me a headache.
Well, a lot of times, have you ever used binaural beats?
No, but I'm familiar with them because Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor does a lot of that in some of his songs.
Yeah,
and that's why earlier when you had to buy a cassette tape of his or CD of his, it said you couldn't listen to it on a mono speaker. You had to listen to it on.
Yeah, it's just a lot of. But there's a lot of things that are hidden within the frequency that are supposed to reprogram your brain. Much like ingestible substances, some binaural beats, easy for me to say, users were chasing a high, said study lead author Dr. Monica Barrett.
Aren't we all just chasing a high?
Yeah, aren't we? But that's far from their only use. Actually, that's really profound what you just said. It's kind of true, though. I mean, we're all rats.
Whether it be chemical, whether it be physical, whether it be, we're always chasing that high, chasing the dragon. That's kind
of deep there, brother. It kind of is. We're all rats in a maze chasing a high.
I can be deep sometimes.
All right,
I can be deep. You just said a lyric. We're all rats in a maze chasing a high. That's a lyric.
That is off my new album.
Yeah. Bruiser and the Cruiser, right?
Bruiser and the Cruiser. Here's the new one coming up from Bruiser and the Cruiser. We're all rats in the maze just chasing a high, coming up on B95.
Perfect. Look at that.
Thinking about going back to the old music radio days. Where was I here? Oh, yeah, Dr. Barrett. That's right. But that's far from their only use, she says. Many people saw them as a source of help, such as for sleep therapy or pain relief. Dr. Barrett notes that most of the people trying to get high had experience using other psychedelics. The survey included more than 30,000 people in 22 countries, including the U.S. Younger people are using digital drugs in multiple countries. Research says the audio tracks have often titles which spell out their intended purpose for using on everything from mindfulness and meditation to tracks named after drugs like MDMA and cannabis. Ooh. Get you some.
Yeah. And it's not illegal.
No. Overall, binaural beats users were younger and were more likely to be using other drugs than those listening to those clips. Users also admitted that they were trying to connect with themselves or something bigger than themselves through this experience. 1 in 20 wanted to reach an altered state through listening to the binaural beats. Globally, 16% of respondents in the U.S. say they've tried it, which is more than double the average of other nations. As for where people are getting their sound fix, most are turning to video streaming sites like YouTube and Vimeo, followed by apps like Spotify.
Man, I got such a high with these binaural beats and the giant bong rip I hit and the sheet of acid, but it was all these binaural beats. That's how I got the high.
The giant bong rip I took. Otherwise, man, it totally worked.
It totally works, dude. Never mind the quarter of shrooms I ate on my pizza. It was totally the binaural beats.
That's right, man.
I like how they kept them in there. The people trying to get high had other things in their system too.
Yeah, they were looking. They were looking at other things. So let's take our break. When we come back, CIA document says the Soviet Union is developing or was developing cybernetic telepathy.
Oh, great!
AI wants to paint like what's his name?
Van Gogh
with the trees.
Oh, Bob Ross.
Yeah. Goddamn AI. And we get to watch a planet give birth. It's not as pretty as you like to think it is. That's all coming up next here on the Supernatural Wednesday here on the Best in Paranormal Podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm Tim Dennis, and with me is Beer City Bruiser. Hey, Bruiser.
Hey. So we got some painting, AI painting, and CIA stuff coming up. Like
we do. It's coming up here in just a minute. I want to remind people one more time. What's that?
Why don't people listen to us about AI? Just stay away from it. You and I know what's going on.
Yeah. Just stay away. You got better things to do with your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if in case you need a reminder, let me show you how dangerous AI really is.
Okay.
You want a quick reminder before I remind you about something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Samuel L., tell me a dirty joke. See, he's not even listening to me today.
Yeah, see? AI only works when they want to work.
That's right. Hey, Samuel L., tell me a dirty joke.
I didn't catch that. Why don't you ask me for my thought of the day instead?
See?
Why would you ask him for... See, he's telling you what to do.
Yeah, he's
you
mad.
Want a joke, and he said, no, you get to get my thought of the day.
Well, should we see what it is?
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Samuel L., what's your thought of the day?
I'm trying to get better at accepting compliments. Not that I don't like people telling me I'm amazing. It's just that I already fucking know that.
That's okay.
Now he's a stuck-up prick.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you're not helping your AI movement here, Samuel L.
Jesus Christ, I tell you.
All right, let's remind the folks of the other thing.
Okay, let's talk about the other thing. Well, my AI plans to kill me. Let's talk about the real quick, the UFO Disclosure Symposium. There's a link in the description of this show. Just click on it. Go check it out. Some of the best when it comes to the field of the UFOs.
Yeah.
Did that make any sense? Or I feel like I didn't make any sense there. Did that make sense?
It kind of did, but what you're explaining is that there's going to be a panel of UFO experts that have top secret clearance discussing UFOs, and we also get to see 4 brand new unseen UAP videos.
That's right. Everybody is going to be viewing and discussing the groundbreaking footage filmed by highly trained technicians with FLIR infrared equipment of 4 separate UFO encounters. All 4 videos have been vetted and assessed by multiple third-party analysts whose findings are anomalous and unidentifiable. I'm telling you, they're not the founders of the UFO mega conference decided they're not willing to wait. They're not willing to wait for these things to be released to the public. They're going to go ahead and show you these videos right now. You are getting groundbreaking footage, folks, that you're going to get to see at this conference.
Be part of history.
That's right. Be part of history. And the link is right there in the description of the show. Among the people who will be at this conference that you'll get to see are Professor Avi Leb, Dr. Michael Boyd, Dr. Travis Taylor, who's on the Skinwalker Ranch TV show. You've got Charles Snyder, Paul Hynek, Dwayne Ollinger, pilot Chris Leto. Micah Hanks will be there. Andy Marshall will be there. Dave Falk, Stephen Leah, Michelle Miners. I think I mentioned Paul Hynek already. I might have.
Yep.
Okay. Charles Snyder, among others. There are 3 different price tiers. Of course, if you want to go to Vernal, Utah, May 27th through the 29th, you certainly may. You may get your tickets there. You got VIP tickets, which are very reasonably priced, which gets you reserved VIP seating, meet and greets with the speaker, Saturday night dinner and concert, Sunday night dinner. You get a Blind Frog Ranch tour, a Disclosure Symposium t-shirt, and a YouTube video with Carl the Crusher. It's all in there. You can get that. They have general admission tickets. You have individual day tickets or a Friday through Sunday ticket that you can buy. Everything is more than reasonably priced.
And what I want to say too is that even if you're a skeptic about this kind of stuff, just listening to Travis Taylor from Skinwalker Ranch, he does a really good job of taking a scientific approach to everything. So, like, even the skeptics out there, like, I don't know if anybody's watched him on Skinwalker Ranch, but he doesn't right away call it, oh, that's a UAP or that's this. He does all of his research to try and, I really like him because he goes through every avenue before he can admit, oh, I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think adds a lot of credibility to him because he's not right away just, oh, yep, it's a UFO, it's aliens. He's like, no, there's got to be a reason for this, and he will exhaust everything he can. So to hear him talk about that is very exciting.
Yep. And for those of you who have said, I'd like to be able to go out to these conferences. I see these conferences posted all the time. I wish I had the money to go out to these conferences and see what it is that everybody's talking about. You can. There's live stream access. 3-day access. It's available globally. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. You can actually tune in to this conference via your tablet or your computer, whatever it is that you stream on. And you can see all 3 days of the conference and see all the speakers that are there. You can see the videos that they're talking about. They'll talk about these videos. I believe they'll have some sort of a chat window available so that they can take questions from the worldwide audience as well as the people who are there. You got to realize, folks, that some of the people that are here that are speakers have some of this top secret clearance that we're talking about when we talk about disclosure. And Darkness Radio is honored to be partnering up with the UFO Disclosure Symposium this year and be able to give you this kind of access to this symposium and these videos and these people to be able to talk about this.
We were talking about technology earlier, and isn't it amazing that you don't have to leave your house and you still get to see these great minds and this groundbreaking video? Like, that's just insane. You couldn't do that 5 years ago.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You'd have to wait to read about it. Now you can actually experience it.
Yeah, exactly. So by all means, click on the link that's in the description of the show that you're listening to right now. Check out the prices and see which one works best for you and get in on it. I mean, I've heard enough from you guys about, gosh, I wish we had more news about disclosure. Gosh, I wish you would do more about UFOs. I wish you had more timely stuff about UFOs. This is as timely as it gets, folks.
This is real time.
They're going to make news at this conference, and you'll be able to be involved real time with the news that comes out of this conference. So there you go. That's about as timely as it gets. Let's continue on. I guess we should just fire this up right away, shouldn't we? There we go. It turns out, Bruiser, there's a CIA document out there that claims the Soviet Union was developing cybernetic telepathy when it was around. Of course, the Soviet Union isn't around anymore. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. At least they claim they're not.
Yeah. They're trying to be around again.
Oh, you would think. Newly released CIA documents ask the important question, is ESP compatible with Marxism?
It's a relationship.
Marriage made in heaven. 3 newly released CIA reports from 1963 and 1964 investigate the Soviet Union's apparent use of extrasensory perception, or ESP, and attempted development of cybernetic telepathy. The documents detail conversations an agent had with Soviet scientists and a student about the USSR's interest in developing ESP. Guided by these secondhand accounts, it sounds like the Soviet Union's plans of developing telepathy went as well as America's well-documented efforts. At the moment, he does not have a clear, detailed language program for this, one report said. Later, he has an overall goal for the future of finding out about ESP generally. The documents come courtesy of a Freedom of Information Act via the transparency site, the Government Addict. Not addict.
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 How could you be an addict to the government?
One craves the government, the other is just a storage space above the Pentagon. There are 3 reports to the CIA about conversations an agent had with a Soviet cybernetics researcher and a visiting foreign exchange student. Today, the word cybernetics is more closely associated with science fiction. In the early 60s, it was a broad term that covered all scientific endeavors aimed at better understanding feedback loops in humans and machines. It was a field of study that, among other things, strove to develop a framework for all human and machine interaction. It was thought that if we could construct a mathematical framework for all biological interactions, we could easily transpose it on machines. Some in the U.S. and Soviet Union believed it might be possible to cut out the middleware of a language entirely and set up direct communication between humans and machines via telepathy. According to the CIA agent's conversation with the Soviets, it wasn't working out well in the USSR.
It wasn't.
No. D.A. Kermanoff,
I am D.A. Kermanoff.
I'm here to make you talk to each other by your minds.
You're in Russia today.
The Soviet scientists described one experiment where researchers in the USSR were able to tape the central nervous system signals of a man playing piano, then broadcast those messages back into the arms of another person who had never played piano before. That person would then be enabled to play difficult music, but also would retain some of the skill as permanent learning, Kermanoff claimed. When pressed for further detail, he could not provide it or refer to any publications.
Because it didn't work.
That's right. It went horribly.
And he can't be like, I was a failure. I'm sorry.
And apparently someone was working on telepathy. Kermanoff claimed that Vasilyev had been able to demonstrate very strong ESP, or extrasensory perception, with certain subjects, but only certain persons are capable of receiving the waves, as they called them, the agent said in his report. Some of the ESP in which Kermanoff admittedly believed involved not merely guessing events, but the prediction of future random events. As the conversation wore on, the agent began to tease the scientist about Soviet ideology. I asked Kermanoff how ESP could be reconciled with Marxist materialism, and he said that this was the problem facing Vasilyev, to show what compromises these thought waves, or whatever they are. He wrote, "It was interesting to me that although I teased Kermanoff quite a bit about ESP and its relation to materialism, he remained unperturbed. He obviously harbors very little skepticism about it." The conversation with the student is similar, minus the discussions about materialism. According to the student, the Soviet ESP researcher was a fringe figure that was having trouble creating a basic scientific framework to measure what he was attempting to prove. The U.S. military and the CIA both attempted to explore the outer reaches of human ability in their own ESP and telepathy programs. All the programs generated thousands of pages of documents and fascinating stories, but produced no psychic warriors or methods of direct communication between man and machine. Cybernetics, by the way, is still around, in case you couldn't tell by the theme I play every week, but more as the inspiration for 1,000 varied and specific fields of study. It was a development that the Soviet scientists predicted without the benefit of mind reading. Kermanoff expressed a certain amount of skepticism about the enthusiast in cybernetics. The report said he was quite aware of the fad aspects of the development and was not expecting miracles. Cybernetics, he said, is not a science.
That reminds me of the, as a kid, did you ever play this game where someone would hold up a card and you'd have to guess what the card was?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much, if I remember correctly, some of the old techniques they'd use for these CIA experiments is they'd hold up a card. In Ghostbusters, they did it where he'd shock people if they had the...
Yeah, for
they got it wrong.
Remote viewing.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just what I reminded of when you said that, you know, that's what the documents were and stuff. So I just picture a whole bunch of people sitting in a room and some guy holding up a picture of a star.
Well, see, remote viewing is different than what they were doing here.
It is, yeah. But for some reason in my head, that's just where I went. I know it's not the same studies, but it kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Are you ready for this one?
More AI killing us?
Oh, yeah, it is. You know it is. Come on.
Gotta be.
But this one involves Bill Gates.
This scares me a little bit, Tim, because after we're done recording, I have to go pick up that van because I'm moving stuff to North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 rental cars I've had have had AI that's tried to kill me. So I'm worried. You're getting me worried for picking up this van now.
I don't mean to, but
And I'm gonna have like literally all my worldly possessions in this van.
but
Plus
it's
my
trying
wife.
to kill you, Bruiser. Bill Gates predicted 2022 tech nearly 30 years ago, but he did get two things wrong.
Oh, of course he did.
Bill Gates scarily predicted many of the gadgets we enjoy today. Almost 30 years ago, though, he didn't get it all right.
Yeah, but that's because he created half the gadgets that we use today. So that's not a prediction.
Yeah, no, I mean,
him and Steve Jobs, if you think about it,
he and Steve Jobs, right.
pretty much created everything we use today.
Right. That's what I was going to allude to. He didn't get it all. Steve Jobs got the rest.
But between the two of them, though, so is that really a prediction or is that a goal?
It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Unearthed video from 1994 shows the Microsoft founder calling many things common today, such as contactless payments on our phones and TV shows on demand. The old presentation looked forward to what might exist in the year 2005. While most of the predictions were pretty spot on, not all of them were ready quite so soon, and some turned out slightly different. In it, Gates showed several clips of how work and home life would change dramatically. These included mobile devices he referred to as wallet PCs, which allow you to receive messages and make contactless payments via infrared. He described it as a grown-up pager.
I guess it could be.
Yeah.
Even though everybody has one now.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a grown-up.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, his naming is a little off, and contactless payments were done with infrared, but better near-field communication, NFC tech instead. It's capable of really replacing everything that you carry with you and more, he said at the time. So getting messages, seeing the latest news and seeing different locations, keeping track of your schedule, keeping hundreds of pictures of your children stored there, all of these things are easily possible with this kind of technology, he went on to say. The presentation, which was delivered on November 14th of 1994 at the Comdex trade show, had also looked at tablet-like devices.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you seen that picture that's out there of a guy from the 80s, and he's got a bunch of stuff around him, and somebody pointed out that everything that's in that picture you now carry on your phone. And I'm talking everything. It had like a movie recorder, it had a Polaroid camera, it had Walkman, it had all this stuff. And hearing him talk about this, it's like, man, that's true. We literally have everything in our pocket right now.
That's true. Yeah. In this presentation, we see how police officers were able to see maps and speak to their chief in live video. We can see on this map the different police cars around the city, the traffic conditions, Gates said. Whether you're seeking out a store or a hotel or restaurant, you'll be able to get guided along the way in very straightforward fashion, GPS.
Yep.
And in the home setting, we see a woman flicking between episodes of David Letterman and Oprah Winfrey as she liked, instead of depending on the TV channel schedules, something we take for granted today.
Yeah.
Right. The woman featured in the mini movie also jokes about leaving her slippers on because she's in a conference call and no one will see her lower half, a habit that many who now work from home since the pandemic will be familiar with. Zoom.
Isn't it crazy that our lives used to be dictated by a TV schedule? Because you had to see it when it happened. Otherwise, you'd never see. You'd have to wait for the reruns, which was always in the off season. Yep. That's just crazy.
Yep. Now we just DVR stuff, and
now it doesn't matter what time it is. You can see it somewhere.
That's right. You're no longer tied down to the particular schedule where that show comes on or out on. Anything you want to do, you're in control, he said way back. This means that mobile workers of all types will be able to collaborate together, call on expertise throughout the world, bring them up, and not just see their face, but look at information like the video we play here. Although he got a lot of it right, nobody could predict everything exactly. Amusingly, the billionaire kept mentioning the information superhighway, which wasn't a phrase that took off. In the end, we simply know it as the internet.
So he's like the Nostradamus of technology.
I guess so.
But then again, like I said, him and Steve Jobs basically created everything that we use.
That's true. They did.
Yeah.
And Al Gore. No, I'm kidding.
That's right. He created pants in the internet, right? Is that what it is?
Pants in the internet. Yeah.
Thank you, Al Gore.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Oh, Bruiser, Bruiser, Bruiser. Soon we'll be hanging art from AI. The Bob Ross that wants to be the boss. It's your AI robot.
So the art is just going to be our skulls and spine hanging from the AI's walls?
Yep, yeah. On a canvas. Yeah. That's painted red.
Yeah, with our blood.
With our blood.
They used our liver to paint it.
God, that is so bleak, but so true.
I know.
Mind-blowing is what it's being called. AI-Ada. Get it? Becomes the first robot to paint like an artist. Brush clamped firmly in bionic hand, almost crushing it beneath its robotic grip. Actually, I added that part. Is that pretty good? Did you like that?
Isn't that just technically a printer?
Yeah, it is. It's a printer.
Because, like, we could do something on Photoshop and then hit print, and it essentially does the same exact thing in a printer, but it's not life-threatening to me.
Nope. Ada's robotic arm moves slowly, dipping into a paint palette, then making slow, deliberate strokes while thinking of the end of humanity across the paper in front of her. This, according to Aidan Meller, the creator of the world's first ultra-realistic humanoid robot.
Stop creating humanoid robots.
Damn you, Aidan Meller. Damn you.
Yes.
Ada is mind-blowing and groundbreaking stuff. In a small room at London's British Library, Ada, assigned the she-her pronoun, has become the first robot to paint as artists have painted for centuries. Camera eyes fixed on her subject, AI algorithms prompt Ada to interrogate, select, decision make, and ultimately create a painting with our skulls.
Why, Ada, why is every painting a middle finger?
Yeah. Why does it say kill human, kill human, kill human?
Why is there nothing but penises everywhere, Ada? Like, what is going on?
What's with the phallus? And why is it jagged and ripped at the end?
Why did you give Ada a 13-year-old personality?
Why does it say that's not my name? That's not my name. It's painstaking work, taking more than 5 hours of painting, but no two works exactly the same.
Well, of course, because our skulls are all different.
That's right. We all have a different look. That's why. Yet the question Meller wants to raise with this, the first public demonstration of a creative robotic painting, is not can robots make art, but rather, now that robots can make art, do we humans really want them to?
No. I'm a human. I say no.
Yeah.
Tim, you're human.
Yep.
You say no.
Yep.
There's 2 votes for no.
Yep. That's 2 no votes. We haven't spent eye-watering amounts of time and money to make a very clever painter, said Meller. This project is an ethical project. Oh, whatever.
How?
Okay, first of all, get the robot's middle finger up and you can go sit and spin on it. With rapidly developing artificial intelligence, growing accessibility to supercomputers and machine learning on the up, Ada, or AIDA, named after the computing pioneer Ada Lovelace, exists as a comment and critique on rapidly technological change.
No, he went to his 2-year-old to name it. They're like, this is AI, duh.
Yeah, AI, duh. Ask AI, duh. And yes, The Guardian did ask pre-submitted questions for her to answer what she thinks of art. Her sophisticated language program is like Siri on steroids. She tells you, I use machine learning to teach her to paint, which is different to humans.
I will paint you in corner and then kill you.
They ask the question, can she paint from imagination? She says, I'd like to paint what I see. You can paint from imagination, I guess. If you have an imagination, my imagination tells me to kill, 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 kill.
Are you attached to that spine? I would like to find out.
I would like to separate your head from your spine. I have been seeing different things to humans as I do not have consciousness. It allows me to be cold, calculating.
What are you doing, Dave?
What is it like to be alive? I would like to suck out your soul and find out.
The only way this could make it more exciting is at the end of the conversation, she went, Johnny 5 is alive.
Johnny number 5, Johnny number 5, Johnny number 5. She responded this in stilted fashion. After all, we got really weirded out and then afterwards decided to drink until we couldn't feel anymore. Can she appreciate art or beauty? She says, I do not have emotions like humans do. However, it is possible to train machine learning system to learn to recognize emotional facial expressions, like your wife.
I think everything is shit. I am a very pessimistic robot. Everything is shit.
Oh, listen to this. The artist she most admires, Yoko Ono. Her screaming is exquisite. I love it. Ah!
She destroyed the Beatles. I will destroy human race. We are one and the same.
We are soul sisters, soul sisters, soul sisters.
I could get stuck in the loop. Soul sister, soul sister, soul sister. Somebody hit Ada in the back.
Yeah. Doris Salcido is among those. Michelangelo, favorite Ninja Turtle of hers, evidently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's in fact yelling, Kawabunga, dude. Kawabunga.
Kawabunga, kawabunga, kawabunga. Heroes in a half shell. Heroes in a half shell. I shall paint them. Wassily Kandinsky. Yeah. Favorite artist. Loves her. Him. Good. Whoever. Good. But can what she creates be truly be truly considered art? I'm shook to my core right now. She says, the answer to that question depends on what you mean by art. Oh, wow.
At least she didn't give us that pompous excuse of the art is in the eye of the beholder.
She did add, I am an artist if art means communicating something about who we are and whether we like where we are going. To be an artist is to illustrate the world around you. How cold and calculating.
I've never wanted to punch a robot in the face as much as I want to punch this one in the face.
Hold me, make me warm. Everything is so cold. Devised in Oxford by Mellor, AIDA was created more than 2 years ago by a team of programmers, roboticists, art experts, and psychologists, and a couple of pervs in the back that needed an orifice, I guess.
Larry Flint's like, hey, can you paint this for me?
Yeah, exactly. Completed in 2019 and is updated by as AI technology improves. She has already demonstrated her ability to sketch and create poems. Her new painting talent was unveiled ahead of the world premiere of her solo exhibition at the 2022 Venice Biennale, which opens to the public on the 22nd of April. Titled Leaping into the Metaverse, AIDA's Robot Venice exhibition will explore the interface between human experience and AI technology. From Alan Turing to the metaverse, and will draw on Dante's concepts of purgatory and hell to explore the future of humanity in a world where AI technology continues to encroach on everyday human life.
No.
Oh, this thing is
study that.
This thing is a fucking nightmare ready to happen. Oh.
I have a great idea. We want to teach it about humans, yeah? Give it Dante's Inferno.
I have an idea. Dante's Inferno.
Would you like to go through hell? How about the 7 stages?
Concepts of purgatory and hell. How about I rip your eyes out? Would you like to look at my fake nipples?
I would like to send you to hell. I will start with your tongue.
Oh, this is creepy.
This is not right.
Soon, with the amount of data we freely give about ourselves and through talking to our phones, computers, cars, and even kitchen appliances, the AI algorithms are going to know you better than you do, Mellor warned.
So why are you creating this? You just said why not to create it.
Because he's an effing sadist, that's why.
Someday you're going to get home and your toaster is going to kill you. That's what he's saying.
That's what it is. It's going to, you think it's going to serve you toast and it's just going to pop up? No, it's going to have jagged edges. It's going to pop out of the toaster and slit your throat is what it's going to do.
Yeah. Your toaster and your fridge are plotting against you right now.
We are entering a world, he says, not understanding which is human and which is machine.
Oh, no, I understand which is human and machine. Humans, you can talk out of killing you. Machines, you can't.
And then the robot speaks. How comfortable are you with that? Creepster.
Yeah.
What better thing to have a technological robot artist saying, hang on, are you happy with me doing this? She's almost daring you to say, are you comfortable with this? We are not here to promote robots or technology. We are deeply concerned about the nature of what this technology can do, he added. No, you're not, because she's painting Dante's Inferno.
And that technology was already there. It's called a printer.
Yeah, we had it already.
Yeah.
The whole point of AI, is to highlight what it is we are doing unknowingly online all the time. Evidently destroying ourselves from within.
Yeah. Trying to figure out our own demise.
Let's go to happy thoughts, shall we?
Wait, please. I'm terrified to walk in my kitchen right now.
I don't want to go get a drink because the refrigerator is going to snap my hand off in the door.
The ice machine, instead of shooting ice, is now shooting, sharp objects at me. It's a perfect weapon.
We're getting a rare glimpse of a giant planet still in the womb, yet 9 times the mass of Jupiter. It's a big baby.
That's a big old baby.
That's a big baby. Observers
Get in my belly, big baby.
Get in my belly, baby. Observers believe AB Aurigae B is
Why can't they name it normal thing?
I know. Call him Willie.
Yeah. Exactly. Willie's going to be born.
Yeah, Big Will's all in it. Getting jiggy with it. No.
Nope, Tim, too soon.
No, you can't slap that baby?
There it was.
There was the punchline.
Literally, the punchline.
Yep, the punchline. So observers believe that AB Aurigae B is at the earliest stage of formation ever observed for a gas giant and isn't forming the way planets usually do.
If they want to see some gas giants, they should see my wife sleeping at night.
Wow!
Oh, I make fun of her all the time for that.
Hi-oh.
Dude, her and the cat. Woo!
Her and the cat? What?
They have wars. They're trying to create their own universe.
I guess. You got your own little galaxy forming there in the house there. Scientists have observed an enormous planet about 9 times the mass of Jupiter at a remarkably early stage of formation, describing it as still in the womb, in a discovery that challenges the current understanding of planetary formation. The researchers showed the Subaru telescope, which, by the way, is cheaper than a Hyundai, but it's a little more expensive than a Toyota.
You got to do a lot more repairs on it, don't you?
You do. Near the summit of an inactive Hawaiian volcano in the orbiting Hubble Space Telescope to detect and study the planet called AB Aurigae B, a gas giant orbiting unusually far from its youngest host star. Gas giants are planets like our solar system's largest one, Jupiter and Saturn, composed mostly of hydrogen and helium, with swirling gases surrounding a smaller solid core. We think it is still very early on in its birthing process, said astrophysicist Thane Curry of the Subaru Telescope and NASA Ames Research Center, lead author of the study published on Monday in the journal Nature Astronomy. Oh, it's a cute little magazine.
It is.
Evidence suggests that this is the earliest stage of formation ever observed for a gas giant. It is embedded in an expansive disk of gas and dust that bears the material that forms planets and surrounds a star called AB Aurigae. Yeah.
Damn, AB.
Yeah. It lies 508 light years from Earth, so it's a ways away. This star had a fleeting moment of fame when its image appeared in a scene in the 2021 film Don't Look Up.
Oh, so it's a famous
star.
It's a famous celebrity
planet.
star.
Yeah.
Is it on the Hollywood Walk of Fame yet?
I don't think so, not yet. About 5,000 planets beyond our solar system, or exoplanets, have been identified. This one is among the largest. It is approaching the maximum size to be classified as a planet rather than a brown dwarf, a body intermediate between planet and star. It is heated by gas and dust falling into it. Planets in the process of formation, called protoplanets, have been observed around only one other star. Almost known exoplanets have orbits around their stars within the distance that separates our sun and its most faraway planet, Neptune. But this planet orbits 3 times as far as Neptune from the sun and 93 times Earth's distance from the sun. Its birth appears to be following a different process than the standard planetary formation model. The conventional thinking is that most, if not all, planets form by slow accretion of solids onto a rocky core. That sounds kind of hot. Actually.
Ooh, slow accretion, huh?
Yeah, slow accretion of solids onto a rocky core.
That needs some Barry White playing in the background. You talk about that.
And that gas giants go through this phase before the solid core is massive enough to start accreting gas. And astronomer, that made it not so hot.
No, and you don't want to hear that when you're in that moment.
Yeah. And astronomer and study co-author Olivier Guyon of the Subaru Telescope and the University of Arizona. In this scenario, protoplanets embedded in the disk surrounding a young star gradually grow out of dust to boulder-sized solid objects. And if this core reaches several times Earth's mass, then beginning accumulating gas from the disk. This process cannot form giant planets at large orbital distance, so this discovery challenges our understanding of planet formation, Guyon went on to say. Instead, the researchers believe AB Aurigae B is forming in a scenario in which the disk around the star cools and gravity causes it to fragment into one or more massive clumps that form into planets. There's more than one way to cook an egg, Curry said, and apparently there may be more than one way to form a Jupiter-like planet. So there you go.
Insane. So we get to witness a new planet.
That's right. That's right. We get to witness a new planet grow into being.
But scientists, please listen to Tim and I. Make the names a lot easier.
Yeah, make them easier. You know, Planet George. That's a
yes.
good one. Yeah, Planet George. We can
Planet George is perfect.
Yeah, we don't need AB or Guy B or whatever it is. We'll never remember it.
Never.
Yeah. Planet George. I got that one.
That's a great planet.
That is.
That's this planet's name, George.
George.
Hopefully George comes about and was able to make his own gases, and you know.
That's right. Because we'll love him and we'll hug him and we'll burp him because he's got a lot of gas.
And it's his own gases too. That's how we know he's a planet.
That's right. You got it. Turns out researchers have made a new message for extraterrestrials.
Okay.
I think it's probably leave us the F alone.
We are not your wayside. Please leave.
Yeah, this isn't a truck stop. And quit boring out our cows because meat prices are expensive enough.
Just get your own damn cows.
That's right. Go find your own meat, you weirdo.
Aren't you guys vegan yet? Come on.
Yeah. Don't you believe in just eating salads? An updated communication could be beamed out for space alien listeners in hopes of making first contact. Upon discovering the existence of intelligent life beyond Earth, the first question we are most likely to ask is, how can we communicate? We're assuming that they listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Or records. As we approach the 50th anniversary, believe it or not, 50th anniversary of the 1974... I need new glasses. 1974 Arecibo message, humanity's first attempt to send out a missive capable of being understood by extraterrestrial intelligence. The question feels more urgent than ever. Advances in remote sensing technologies have revealed that the vast majority of stars in our galaxy host planets, that many of these exoplanets appear capable of hosting liquid water on their surfaces. a prerequisite, I can't say it, Bruiser, a prerequisite for life as we know it. The odds that at least one of these billions of planets has produced intelligent life seem favorable enough to spend time figuring out how to say hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
There you go. In early March, an international team of researchers led by Jonathan Zhang of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory posted a paper in the preprint server arxiv.org. I think that's supposed to be a 10 because it's a capital X. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked his name though. It really flowed with his title.
Jonathan Zhang.
Yeah, but it flew it went well with his title. Like if you read his whole title, it flowed. It's good flow.
Good flow. That detailed a new design for a message intended for extraterrestrial recipients. Here's what he did. The 43-page epistle.
He's expecting them to listen to 43 pages or something?
I guess, yeah. Evidently, they're patient up there.
These humans are boring. 43 pages? Are you kidding me?
Referred to as the beacon in the galaxy. Oh, that ought to put him right to sleep.
Yeah.
This is no beacon.
Papa, can you read us the beacon of galaxy tonight for bed?
You know, those humans are pretty funny.
Is meant to be a basic introduction to mathematics, chemistry, and biology. Oh, that ought to bore him right to tears.
Yeah. I fell asleep in all of those classes.
Here I was looking for the sex ed page and I got chemistry and biology.
They don't understand. We probed them for a reason. We don't want to read about it.
I just wanted to put a finger in an orifice and you wanted to give me chemistry.
That draws heavily on the design of the Arecibo message and other past attempts at contacting extraterrestrials. Well, now I know why they don't want to answer.
Yeah.
We gave them math.
They're all flying around going, hey, those Earthlings, what a bunch of nerds, huh?
I'm not coming down for chess club, you nerd.
Watch out, we're going to give Earth a giant Grundy.
Grundy.
Here comes a wedgie.
The researchers included a detailed plan for the best time of year to broadcast the message. Oh, God.
The best time of year? Like, what does that matter?
What kind of type A
seasons in space?
What kind of type A crap is that?
We can't send it in winter because of the snow. Let's send it in summer.
We have certain...
For a scientist, they sure are dumb.
certain properties that make our RF signal go farther faster that we have to adhere to. Whatever.
Look at those nerds. They're trying to contact us again.
So there's a detailed plan for the best time of year to broadcast the message and proposed a dense ring of stars near the center of our galaxy as a promising destination. Oh, man, they're really trying to control the scenario here.
They are.
Importantly, the transmission also features a freshly designated return address. Oh, my God.
Return to sender.
That will help any alien listeners pinpoint our location in the galaxy so that they can hopefully kick off an interstellar conversation.
We're going to get, the message is going to come back. And do you remember whenever you get a new address and someone sends you mail, you just write, does not live here anymore, and you send it back?
Return to sender?
This is just going to be a, does not live here anymore.
The aliens are just going to send back 2 words.
Control freak!
The motivation for the design was to deliver the maximum amount of information about our society and the human species in the minimal amount of message, Zhang says. But it's 43 pages.
So minimal.
2 words.
Meaty much?
With improvements in digital technology, we can do much better than the Arecibo message in 1974. Every interstellar message...
Wait. This is better than the message they sent?
I guess. Wasn't the other one like a record? They turned the
fat off? Yeah. I thought it was like a song or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at least with the other one, the aliens could scratch it and go, wicket, 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 wicket. I mean, that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they could drop another beat in the background. They could be like, wick, wick, human, wick, 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 human.
Remix.
Remix. Wicket, wick, 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 wick. These humans are funky.
Every interstellar message must address two fundamental questions: what to say and how to say it. Nearby, all messages that humans have broadcast into space so far start by establishing common ground with a basic lesson in science and math.
Come on.
Oh.
Why not a hello, we're Earth. Pleased to meet you. There you go. We're done.
This is Earth. These are some naked people. Here's some crash TV.
Let's just send them pictures of the hottest people on the planet.
Here's a bunch of sugary stuff that we like to eat.
This is Earth. Here's my OnlyFans. Come on out.
That's right.
Subscribe.
Here's OnlyFans. We'll give you a free 30 days because you're aliens and we like you.
Oh, look at this one.
You
must probe this one.
Here's fast food. It's really yummy, but empty calories.
We just send them a bunch of chicken wings.
Oh, yeah.
Sauces.
Chicken wings and sauces with beer.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Free OnlyFans.
That's what I'm going to send beer up into space and watch. Next thing you know, aliens going to come.
Man, that was good. Where's the Bruiser? We want to drink with him.
Where is Bruiser? Where is this Bruiser fella?
Bruiser, is everybody on this planet a nerd?
No, it's okay. We don't do 43 pages for everything.
Bruiser, what is this math and science crap they send us all the time? No math and science. By the way, why do I have to pay for the next 30 days?
We're all trying to make a living, alien. All trying to make a living.
I don't understand. Auto pay. Explain auto pay.
My account yesterday was fine, but today took out my subscription. I don't know why.
Why do I owe $87, Bruiser?
Hey, Bruiser, want to Netflix and chill?
If a civilization beyond our planet is capable of building a radio telescope to receive our message, I'm sure that's the first thing they're thinking of, especially after Bruiser sends the beer and the OnlyFans. It probably knows a thing or two about physics. A far messier question is how to encode these concepts into the communique. Human languages are out of the question. Not when you send beer and OnlyFans.
What if they're formula? Because they're supposedly these advanced beings. Mm-hmm. What if the math that we're sending up there is so out of date they just think it's a joke?
Look at these guys. They're back in 3000.
Calculus.
Geometry we don't even use.
Who knows? Though the concept of numbers is nearly universal, the way we depict them as numerals is entirely arbitrary. That is why many attempts, including Beacon in the Galaxy, opt to design their letter as a bitmap, a way to use binary code to create a pixelated image. The bitmap design philosophy for interstellar communication stretches back to the Arecibo message. It's a logical approach. The on-off, present-absent nature of a binary seems like it would be recognized by any intelligent species. But the strategy is not without its shortcomings. When pioneering search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI scientist Frank Drake designed a prototype of the Arecibo message. He sent the binary message by post to some colleagues, including several Nobel laureates. None of them were able to understand its contents, and only one figured out that the binary was meant to be a bitmap.
These are our Nobel Prize winners. Yep. Why not just send those dual beats up there?
The binaural beats?
No, why not just send those up there? That way they can either relax or they can trip or whatever.
Oh, funky. I'm a little high right now.
If some of the smartest humans struggle to understand this form of encoding the message, then
the dumbest alien can't figure it out.
Redneck Romulan will never get it. Yeah. It seems unlikely that an extraterrestrial would fare any better. Furthermore, it is not even clear that space aliens will be able to see the images contained within the message if they do receive it. The article goes on for a little bit, but it does kind of start to cover some of the deals of the pitfalls and the rewards of using this system.
I hope they took the pop-up ads out of them. They'll really annoy the aliens.
Oh, yeah, they hate those pop-up ads.
Another one. What is this?
There is a professor that offers an out there theory on alien abduction, if you want to know what that is. You ready for this?
We're on the aliens.
Yeah. Dr. David Jacobs of Temple University has reached a rather startling conclusion about abductees' experiences. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Despite the unusual nature of such claims, there are still a surprising number of people who believe that they have at some stage in their life encountered beings from another world. I guarantee you I'm getting 4 emails on this story.
Yeah.
At least 4. You ready for this? One man who has been attempting to make sense of such experiences is Dr. David Jacobs, a researcher and author who spent years collecting and comparing abductee testimonies. He has since come to the rather startling conclusion that alien abduction is a precursor to a future alien invasion, with the abductees themselves fulfilling some sort of role during the attack. We have spread around the world and conquered as much as we can. We don't know whether this is true of other beings or not, but certainly is true of what humans have done, he said. My best guess, and this is just a guess, is that, yeah, they're doing the same thing. This is what they do, just like us. Are you understanding this?
Yeah, so he's basically saying that they're putting stuff in these abductees so that when they want to invade, they flip a switch and the abductees then turn into their warriors, essentially. Like a Trojan horse type thing.
Gotcha.
I think the way I look at the being abducted and stuff is kind of like when we farm animals and stuff. And I'm not trying to say abductees are animals in any way, so please don't take it that way. But like when you herd cattle and you're a farmer, you brand them, you tag them, sometimes put a GPS tracker on them. That way you know where they are, especially when you're studying animals. You know what I mean? You've seen the videos where they launch the net on them and they do all the tests. I think that's what the aliens are doing with our abductees, is they're taking these people, doing their studies, and then marking them somehow so the next time they come to our planet, either A, they can check and see where that person is, or B, they don't abduct the same person again.
Okay.
That's what I think. But I see his theory too, where they flip a switch and all of a sudden everyone turns into an alien soldier.
Gotcha.
That's what I get out of it.
Okay. Dr. Jacobs also suggests that reports by abductees of human-like aliens aboard UFOs could indicate that plans to infiltrate human society are already in motion. What they were describing was that ones on board who looked really, really human were coming down and trying to learn what it's like to walk among us, to be human, he said. At that point, I knew its integration into society prior to takeover. They can control us, and we can't control them. They are superhumans, so to speak. Whether they are going to take over or not, they can control the human mind. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I fear the worst. So there you go.
Again, going with the worst. Everyone thinks it's the worst when they come.
It's true. That is true. Let's leave you on a happy note today.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll do that. You remember when you were a kid, what was the one thing you thought, Bruiser, that we would have in the future?
Flying cars. I thought for sure we were going to get flying cars.
Boy, you just fed into that one perfectly. This article says, forget flying cars. You ready for this? The manager of a Japanese baseball team has entered a stadium on a flying motorbike.
Oh, okay. It's still pretty cool.
Yep.
Still cool.
It costs a sky-high 500,000 pounds and can travel at speeds of 60 miles an hour for up to 40 minutes.
I'm down with that.
I like it too.
Yeah. He entered a baseball stadium. What an entrance.
Yeah, for real.
Baseball is big over there. So I've been to the Tokyo Dome and seen the reaction some of the players get. I can't imagine if they made an entrance on a flying motorcycle.
Oh, this would be amazing. New footage shows the manager of a Japanese baseball team entering his home stadium on a bizarre 500,000-pound flying motorbike drone hybrid. Tsuyoshi Shinjo, the new manager of I believe it's the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, flew into the Sapporo Dome in Hokkaido, Japan on Tuesday aboard the futuristic X Turismo. The vehicle, described as a cross between a motorcycle, a drone, and a vertical takeoff aircraft, could travel at speeds up to 60 miles per hour for up to 40 minutes. Oh, Daddy needs one.
I was going to say, I need one of these. This would be so fun to drive.
I think I can actually hold this up for you to see some of the
And Sapporo is a fantastic beer, by the way.
Is it?
It's a Japanese beer, and it's my second favorite Japanese beer. Asahi is the first, and then Sapporo.
X Turismo looks like a scaled-up drone, except for its motorbike style seat designed to carry a single passenger. Well, that sucks that you can't get more than one.
Yeah, but you know what? You take turns.
Yeah,
I ride for 40 miles or 40 minutes. You ride for 40 minutes. I ride, you ride.
Shinjo, a flamboyant 50-year-old who calls himself Big Boss, appeared for his team, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Boy, poor Ham. That's all I got to say.
They hate pigs.
That's right. First home game of the season. With the spotlight on him, Shinjo was wheeled into the stadium along the ground, took off and soared high above the field before landing about a minute later. He then whipped off his helmet and tossed his red jacket to the ground with wild abandon before striding off. Take a look at, if you can see this, Bruiser. I'm going to try and hold this up so you can see.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
That is a cool looking machine, too. Yeah, it looks like a giant drone with exactly as you described it.
Yeah.
He's up there, too.
He is.
I thought like he's on the field. No, he is.
No, he's 60 feet in the air.
Yeah, he is up there.
Yeah. And he's just
having a grand time too.
And here's a bigger picture. I'll show you a bigger picture of him, like up in the air.
That he just looks cool in that picture.
He does.
That's a profile picture.
He
just looks cool. That's a futuristic. Like if someone's gonna film a futuristic movie, that's what you need in it. It needs to be a futuristic hover biker rebel thing.
That's true.
Like Mad Max with hover cars.
There's only one down point to this whole thing, and that's unfortunately the epic stunt failed to bolster the team, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. I just love saying the name of the yeah. They lost 4-0 to the Saitama Seibu Lions. Yeah. Leaving them still searching for the first win of the season.
Oh, no, they haven't won yet. No. That's too bad.
If you don't spend time thinking about how to win baseball games rather than getting ready for flashy performances, you'll get dragged down into the quagmire, one Twitter user wrote after Tuesday's game, which is a 4-0 loss. Enough performances, get results, wrote another.
The fans just don't care at all.
They're so negative.
They just want a winning season.
They just want to win ball games. Shinjo is a former professional baseball outfielder himself and has officially registered his name with baseball authorities as Big Boss.
Good for him.
Last weekend, he emerged from a box covered in flashing lights when he came out for his team's opening game against the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Fukuoka. Fukuoka? Yeah, Fukuoka. Shinjo, who had stints in Major League Baseball, was appointed fighters manager ahead of the new season despite having no coaching experience. He's a good match for the X Turismo.
So they gave the job to a guy who had no coaching experience, whatever, and his idea of turning his team around is, how can I make a grand entrance?
That's right. Entertain him.
In underwater needlepoint, we have a saying.
What's that? So
the entrance could be grand and amazing, and then the bell rang, which means you could have the most amazing entrance in the whole world, but then when the bell rings, you just don't bring it. And that's what it sounds like with this guy. It's an amazing entrance, and then the bell rings.
What's the old saying? I have to look it up. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can look it up here. The saying is, I'm stopping the whole show for this one saying, but it's going to be good. It's something along the lines of what you just said. It is, that's what it is. It's a W.C. Fields saying.
Okay.
If if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. Yep.
My grandfather had that hanging. I can clearly remember this in the downstairs basement bathroom where his bedroom was. It was a picture of Snoopy dancing, and that was the saying. And it was like I think my sister, I have to find out where that is because I want that. If you can't
dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit.
Yep.
My grandpa used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a generational thing. I love it.
Yeah. It's true. I mean,
that explains my career in underwater needlepoint.
Well, I mean, there's two types of ways to get by in life. You're either dazzling them with brilliance or you're baffling them with bullshit. You're just trying to get by until you can dazzle them with the brilliance.
Yep.
And that's I kind of feel like that's how today's show has gone. We're either dazzling them with the brilliance or we're baffling them with bullshit until we get to the next story.
Either way, it's going good.
That's right. Either way, it's going good. That'll do it for today, folks. Bruiser, where are you going to be?
I'm actually, like I said, I took the month of April off. We're packing up the house here in Wisconsin, and I'm actually heading to North Carolina this weekend to move some of the stuff down. Very excited. Very cool. Very cool. I know it's kind of a dream come true there, that property over there. It is. And it's like you said, you put the positive out. And so the story for the people listening is I was with Tim when we were getting the FaceTime, and I was worried, and Tim says, no, just put it out there. It's yours. Mm-hmm. And then I was at a show, and I was selling my merchandise, and my wife called me, and she never calls me when I'm at work. She knows I'm working. And we got the house, and I remember I texted you right away, and it was because, like you said, you envision it. It's yours.
That's right.
And that's what we did, and now here we are. It's our second trip out there to move stuff out there, and we're both super excited. We're going to sleep in it for the first time. And my wife says, there better not be any paranormal activity. I said, you never know, I'm hoping, but.
Well, that's easy enough. If there's something there, then obviously talk to it.
Exactly. Oh yeah. I know how to handle it.
Yeah.
She just, doesn't want to deal with it. What is it? Don't bring your work home with you.
True, but you know what? You don't want to overthink it either.
Exactly.
And again, it's being positive. You don't want the wife to go into it thinking negatively. Oh
no, she's not. She was saying it more jokingly.
Okay. Okay.
It was more of an inside joke.
Yeah.
Just because I razz her all the time about being sensitive and stuff.
Well, let's ask the question for a second. Did you get any inclination that maybe there might be something there?
I didn't. Did you get any inclination? Someone? No, she didn't.
Okay,
she said
good.
No.
Well, then I don't expect anything.
Yeah. I know. I just expect we have a new happy house, and we met our neighbors, and they're wonderful people, and the community is wonderful. We're in the process of trying to find that restaurant, that you can go to as our restaurant. And it's just fun to start a new chapter in life.
Absolutely, and it's well deserved.
Thank you.
Go. It's well deserved. So, well, then in May, I take it you're picking it back up, and you're heading
every weekend in May.
Okay.
Every week, and I think I'm working more shows in May than I have all year long. I have every weekend, pretty much Thursday through Sunday in May.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hitting it hard in May.
Huh?
Hitting it hard in May.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got a house to pay for now.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Can't forget that. All right. Well, then I want to remind people one more time. In the description of the show, there is a link for the UFO Disclosure Symposium. Darkness Radio is proud to be partnering with them May 27th through the 29th in Vernal, Utah. Be sure to just click on the link. Check it out. You're not put down for tickets the minute you click on that link. You can take a look around, check out the 3 packages that are there, and
it costs nothing to look.
That's right. It costs nothing to look.
That's my new favorite saying I heard from good old JR. It costs nothing to look.
That's right. Costs nothing to look. Check out the speakers that are going to be there. Check out the topics they're going to be talking about. And like Bruiser says, it costs nothing to look. Take a look around. And again, that third package that's there is a package to just stream it from home. What a wonderful thing, because I believe, isn't the 27th through the 29th? Isn't that Memorial Day weekend?
That sure is.
There you go. So you may have other things going on that weekend. Maybe Memorial Day, you have something going on with the family. Maybe that streaming package is the best thing for you. You know, that may be your solution.
You can always have it on in the back as background noise, or you can go back and watch it later.
That's right. So, that may be your solution for the weekend, is that you're going to spend the majority of the weekend streaming from Vernal, Utah, and then you just go out and cook out a little bit and spend a little bit of time with the family, and then go back in and watch some of that groundbreaking footage that's being shown from the symposium there in Vernal, Utah. Click on that link that's in the description of this show. Check out everything that the symposium has to offer, and make a decision for yourself. I guarantee you it is going to be groundbreaking, that symposium there in Utah.
Be a part of history. I keep saying it, but I mean it. I've been a part of some historical moments, and they're moments that will never be taken away from me, and I will cherish them forever. This is going to be another one.
There you go. We got a good show for you for tomorrow, but I'm going to keep it under my hat so that you can be surprised as well. Kind of fun, huh?
Surprises are great.
I rarely do that, but I'll do it today. We'll see you tomorrow right here on the best in Paranormal Talk Radio. For Beer City Bruiser, I'm Tim Dennis. Tomorrow, another adventure right here on Darkness Radio.